Hi guys, I'm back for more Q&A. Or I was falling asleep last night, and sometimes I have like thoughts that are stupid, but my brain won't let them go. And it was like, you could be like Q and K, and then I was like, that's literally stupid. But for like half an hour, my brain was like Q and K, and I was like, that's not a thing. Just because there are similar sounds, we're not doing that. We're not calling it that. That's not happening. But I thought I'd share that with you because why the fuck not? Plutonian frost monkey, which is a good name, but I'm scared I've said it wrong. I can't think how I would have, but anyway. Ask me, what is the meaning of life? That one's easy for me. For me, it is to, in a positive way, to touch other people's lives. And I do this in a multitude of ways. Like, I like to help people directly. Like, people come to me for advice. I give that to them even if it's like 4 a.m. and I haven't slept in days. I will always answer if somebody really needs my help. At my university, I'm constantly like phoning the police because somebody's suicidal, or going to find someone myself, depending on the severity of the situation and how well I know someone, and what's going on, that kind of thing. But I am that like go-to person apparently. So I do that in very direct ways like that, but I also do it in indirect ways, like with my fashion event business, which I no longer have, but I did have. I would spend several days a week searching for fashion designers who had very small businesses, who were selling their stuff in like very small venues, who weren't getting seen, in the theory that if they were presented to a bigger audience, then their brand could grow because they had the talent. And I'd say there's less than 100, but still a good portion of people whose brands did grow because I brought them into a larger venue with a larger audience and put them next to a really big brand, in a kind of equal stature way, so that they could let the quality of their products speak for themselves. So even though that's completely unrelated to the person, in my mind I can see how that has effect on their life. So I do things like that, and I consider that part of my meaning. And also my writing. I write mainly for me, but the reason why I share it, even if it's terrible, is because I don't want anyone to feel alone, because in my belief, loneliness is the worst thing a human can endure, and I hate it. So I try and be really honest about my thoughts and how I live, which is often very ugly. And then I share it on the internet with thousands of people, and then I hide under my quilt for a while going, oh god, I can't believe I just told everyone that I think these terrible things about myself. I mean, that sounds crazy, but it is actually really hard to go, hey everyone, I hate this about me, and just tell thousands of people, because like your instinct is to think, don't tell everyone, because then they'll see it. It's like, in my mind, I'm like, this piece of eyeliner right here is more silver than on the other side. That's annoying me. But now I've pointed it out to you. You can see it. Why would I do that? I don't know why I do that. But poetry-wise, the reason why I do it is because if someone else feels the same, then they know they're not by themselves. And that's worth more than the agony of putting all of that on the internet. So that's my meaning of life. I hope that works for you. I think mine comes from my sister, who is here in this lovely picture, who died when I was younger. I learnt a lot from her and the value of being on this planet, and that's what I decided to do with my life. Okay, the Reaper Man, which is a very ironic name, said, how's things? Which I loved as a question. When I saw it, I was like, firstly, great question. Secondly, it's going to be an unexpectedly long answer, I think, because I think, I mean, I don't know, but I imagine that they thought that would be quite a simple question. But for me, not so much. It has been a terrible year and a terrible month. this week was pretty terrible, but the past 3 days have been not too bad. The day before my birthday, which was Sunday, I cried like 6 different times because I felt so lonely and suicidal and depressed and alone and full of hatred for everything. And then my birthday wasn't too bad. A lot of people who I was worried didn't care about me anymore because of my disorder. I often have those thought processes, unfortunately, but a lot of them got in touch, which helps me reroute back in reality and be like, okay, these people do care about me, they do love me, because I can't seem to maintain that reminder by myself. So my birthday was nice. It was very quiet, but it was nice because people got back in touch and I felt loved again. That's important for me. So that was good, but generally it's been a very bad year. I'm struggling to catch up with my uni work now so that I can continue doing my second year over 2 years next year, because I had a breakdown this year. And it all has to be in next month, but it's going quite well. So touch wood, that will be fine. We'll see. So I'm okay-ish right now in this minute, but I will cry today and think about killing myself because that's what I do. That's cheerful. There's my answer. Okay. Act of Art sent me this question, which I've been puzzling over all week. It says, have you ever used one of those rubber stamps for kids? And I did send, a couple hours ago, I sent a reply just to clarify, because I think that the question is referring to like ink stamps, where you stamp into ink and then stamp paper, and then it stamps that pattern onto the paper. But I didn't know those were for kids. So I'm a little bit like, I'm like, is that what you meant? Because if there's a new kind of stamp for kids, firstly, I want to try it. But if there isn't, I didn't know those were for kids and I should probably stop playing with them. As I mentioned before, I love stationery. Now someone is drilling outside. I love stationery, so yes, obviously I've played with stamps. In fact, for Christmas last year, I got one of my Wiccan friends a personalised stamp saying, I think it said something like potion or spell created by, and then their name, so that they could just stamp it and then write the name of the potion or charm or spell or whatever, so that she could attach it to things, that because she often used to like give me charms. She used to call them the fuck off charms. So she'd be like, put this in your room and it will tell all bad energies to fuck off. And I was like, okay, I will. So for things like that. So yeah, I love stamps. Why not? I'm not really a grown up. That's a pretense. I'll go back to Crow Montana because he had a million. What's your favourite piece you've written as of late? Oh my god, I'll have to look at them because I don't remember them now. Okay, hold on while I open my gallery. I wrote Far and Away last night, but I always prefer the ones I've just written. So I'll try not to say that one. I really liked Back to Black, which was a love poem to a girl. We weren't seeing each other. We kind of had a non-thing. I don't really know how to describe it, but I really like that poem. It came, like, the idea for it came to me when we were like together, as in the same place. And then when we were not in the same place and our whatever it was over, I decided to write it anyway because I thought it was a really cute idea and quite representative of that, whatever that was. So I will say Back to Black. Okay, let's try a different question. Have you ever performed any of your poems in front of an audience? Yes, I have. As you guys may know, I'm doing a creative writing degree, and it's my second year, and one of the modules I did this year was performance poetry, because I love poetry, and I love performance poetry, but I've never done it. So this year was something brand new in poetry for me. Obviously, I haven't been able to share that with you guys because it gets graded. So so I can't submit the transcripts of my performance poems on DeviantArt until after they've been graded, which will be roughly the end of August. And then I'll probably record them, upload them to YouTube. I'm not really sure. But this is my performance poetry book. It says rules were meant to be broken, which I like. I like notebooks. And the first poem I ever wrote, which is called Don't Look, is my favourite. This book, this copy of this book only has my favourites in, because I'm very biased. I'm not sure if I have enough time, because it's quite a long poem, to read this now without hitting the 15-minute YouTube thing, which I think there is. I don't know. So I won't. But yes, I have performed my poem in front of an audience. I think I've done 3 in total, and on 2 different occasions, both with Rhyme and Reason, a local poetry thing to my university in Bath. The first time was really intense because I'd just been to student council, where I'm a member of student council at my university, and our student council had gone back to our students' union after student council for food, and Rhyme and Reason happened to be happening at the same time, and I knew some of the people running Rhyme and Reason, and they'd been encouraging me all day to read because they'd read my first poem, which was Don't Look. So I felt quite buoyant because I'd been in student council and I'd made some changes and I felt quite positive. So I was like, fuck it, I'll take advantage of this good mood and I'll do it now. So I did it, but not just in front of all the poetry people, but in front of all the people of the student council, including the vice presidents and the president of RSU, and people like this, that I was basically pouring my heart out in front of people who I needed to take me quite seriously, and it, because they loved it, that was great. If they hadn't loved it, that would have been really awkward. But yeah, it was really good. It was a really good experience.